Hello, peeps. Welcome to Sunday Comic Investment Chat. Let me open the window here, let in some light. It's kind of cloudy out there today. It's been a while since I do a live chat, so I'm fumbling with the new YouTube setup. I'm not even sure if this is working, so let me see if I can type in something. It's weird. And YouTube made some changes in the past few months whilst I was away. So let me see how things gonna work. Let me check my phone here to see if anything is working correctly. Oh, hello, Vault Keeper. I guess it is working correctly. Can you hear me okay? Let me know if my audio is coming through clear. Welcome to Sunday. It's been a while since I did a chat. Good as go. Hello. Hello, Vault Keeper and Good as go. Been a while. Been, gosh, 10 weeks, something like that, since I did a last chat. Hello, Comic Book Brother, an iconic point, and Comic Sniper. Yes, it's my first live chat in over 2 months with some housekeeping issues. Once again, well, thank you everybody for the warm welcome back. I just loaded a really old video that I shot. I have a lot of old video, especially the CGC versus CBCS videos. If you watch that video that I loaded this morning, you notice that the listings in that video is September 2018. So if you're familiar with eBay, there's no way you can go back that far. Okay, I think eBay keep 90 days of record going back. So you're gonna see quite a few videos that showcase books from September, October, November, because many of those videos were shot in December of last year. So hello, La Raza and Comic Crack. So keep in mind that I have not shot any new videos as far as that series of CGC versus CBCS. So, and I don't expect the market to make that drastic of a change. What you see in those videos that I will load in the next 3 months, because there are a dozen more of them, is pretty predictable and a common trend. Hopefully 6 months from now, a year from now, you will see a better market for CBCS. It's improving ever so slightly. It takes a long time to change the market view of any company. Okay, it's not easy. It's not easy when you have an entrenched company like CGC. It's not easy. Okay, a lot of people that collect CGC only slabs have a hard time making the jump. It's not easy. It's not everybody can own both kind of slabs and be okay with it. Some people like to have one of a kind, like the same CGC only, and some people that hate CGC will only want to have CBCS only. But for the most part, I have seen some people that own both. Okay, both. There are some, but not the majority. The majority of the people that in this hobby that use slab tend to go with just one, at least from what I can tell. Okay, because if people are okay with owning both, you will see the price be much more similar, but that's not the case, not yet. Okay, back to the for those that follow the stock market the last few months, it has been a rough ride, but at the same time, it's not the way the market moved the last 3 months or even 5 months since October has been fairly, I wouldn't say predictable, but not surprising to me. Okay, not surprising to me. I have been very cautious about the market, about the economy in the past 5 months, and things look really ugly in January, late December. But then now the market has, I wouldn't say snapped back to where it was back in October, but it has come back. A big chunk of the market has returned, and for those that waiting for the market to crash, as far as the comic market to crash in order to pick up some keys for cheap. Did you miss your chance in January, in December? Maybe not. Okay, I don't see the stock market to go higher, much higher from here. Do I see a chance that the market will go down again in the next 3 weeks? Yes, you hear it here. Okay, that's my market projection, is we will see another leg down in the next 3 weeks. Hard to say exact time, but I think we are in for a rough ride again. How low can we go? Maybe another 10%, maybe another 5%, but we will see. How would that reflect in the overall comic hobby? You're not going to see a huge price change. Okay, there will be some softness if you get lucky and pay attention to the auction. I'm sure those that did was able to pick up some bargain in late December, early January, even mid-January, right? Yes, La Raza. But as far as a big comic book market crash, I just don't see it coming. Not right now. But if it happened, we all will find it. We all will find out, sooner or later if it happened. I just don't see it. The collectible market tend to move in the same direction. The big books. The big books are not going to, you know, be shelter from any crash. The big books will see softness, just as every book will see softness. Just about every book will see softness. But for now, I see there are softness. There is no dispute that there are softness all around, from bronze keys to silver age keys to golden age keys. There are. Okay, the overall market of the big keys of all ages are, for the most part, soft. That's the best way to describe the market right now. It's not strong. It's not like rip roaring. It's not breaking record. It's not, people are not piling on, chasing big books. That's not what I see right now. There is a softness for sure. How soft? Depend on the books, right? Depend on the books. But one of the things that I want to talk about this morning, at least for the next 45 minutes now that I get going, I'm trying to get done by 9:15, okay? Trying to keep the chat within 1 hour. Hello, Melody. I'm trying to make sure get everybody in the chat room. As far as the general market, okay, one of the things that, we as collectors or investor or both always want is deals. All of us want deals. But is that any different from how we approach life? Whether you're buying a car, whether you're buying a house, whether you're buying a stock, anything you want to buy, you want a deal. It's human. But at the same time, I think one of the things that I hear that make me chuckle is that, for example, if you're in the real estate market, right? A lot of people use Zillow. Okay, Zillow, Zillow. That's the real estate tracking website that show you the value of every house, at least in the US. I can't say for other area of the world, but in the US, Zillow is very commonly used. And whenever people use Zillow, there's a lot of factors that sometimes people don't pay attention to. Zillow break it down to square foot per inch. That's price per square foot. Square foot per inch. That makes no sense. Still early in the morning. I still need my coffee. Oh, okay. You known as Biggie Shack, but now you change your name to Melody. Okay. So back to the Zillow thing. Okay, a lot of people that look at Zillow trying to compare prices of houses, but one of the problem with Zillow, at least from what I can tell, is when you look at in any given neighborhood, even on my street, you can't really look at price per square foot and say, okay, my house is 2,200 square foot. The house next door is 4,000 square foot. If that house next door sold for $1 million last week, then I can take the price per square foot and apply to my 2,200 square feet, and there you go. That's my value. Not entirely correct way to value a house, because the quality of the construction, the age of the construction, the age of the material inside the house, as far as new kitchen or whatever. There's a lot of things that go inside a home, or even outside the home, or even the roof. Okay, it's you just can't apply a simple math formula and say, okay, that house next door is worth this much, therefore because of my square footage, my house is worth this much. The same thing can go with comic books. Okay, the same thing can go with comic books. When people try to compare prices using various services like GPA or anything else, it's GPA is useful. It's the reference. It's a guide. It collects history of the past, but it is a snapshot of a very small, let me say this, small percentage of the transaction that happen. Small. Because it capture eBay, yes. It capture heritage, yes. It capture, for the most part, I believe, Comic Connect. Okay, I have shown video where some listing was not captured, so I don't know why that didn't happen. But we all know Comic Link is very active. Comic Link run auctions every month of thousands of slabs out there that's not captured. Okay, now take a company like My Comic Shop. My Comic Shop lists a lot of stuff on eBay, and those are captured by GPA. Guess what? If you buy a slab directly from My Comic Shop from their own website, it's not recorded on GPA. My Comic Shop also run weekly auctions that include slabs. That's also not recorded by GPA. And the thousands of slabs that are exchanged weekly at conventions are not recorded by GPA. The thousands of slabs that are sold at CGC Forum are not recorded by GPA, as well as private transaction between collectors like me and my other people I know. There's a whole lot of stuff. Okay, that's why I'm bold to say that it captures a small percentage. How small, I don't know, but when I use the word small, that means that it's not half. Okay, let's clarify what I'm saying. Okay, I'm saying, by saying small, I'm saying it's not half, because if it's more than half, then it become majority. Okay, simple logic. If it's more than half, I would say majority, but because it's less than half in my calculation in my head, I think that it is just not a full pictures, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I use GPA to help price my book. I use GPA to help me estimate what my books will get at auction, to see how close I am, and for the most part, they're pretty close. Some books go 10% higher, sometimes 20% higher than GPA, and some books go 10% less, sometimes even 20% less than GPA. You know, the GPA also cannot capture eye appeal. Okay, I mean, that is a big part of how someone is willing to pay for something. Eye appeal. Okay, and you can't knock that down, you can't discount that, but that's how, so when you see a record high on GPA, I'm always hesitant to just use the record high as a new price, because there are other factors that go into that new higher price. Is it eye appeal? Was there upgradability? Did a few people overbid on a book because that book can be upgraded? A lot of time that happens. When you see a book in an old label, and there are a few people that fight over old label, they will to overpay. Guess what? That's how new record can be broken. You know, I hear people complain all the time about, oh, I don't want to pay GPA. Nobody want to pay GPA. GPA is just a reference. It's a lot of tidbit that people like to throw out there with GPA. And here is my thought on well, I have been giving you my thought on GPA, but keep in mind that even though most of us want deals, okay? Most of us want deals. Most of us here in this community are a minority of the hobby. Let's get real. If the hobby is dependent on the 3,000 or 4,000 or whatever number of people on YouTube that make videos, guess what? It's over. It's over if this hobby is dependent on the 3,000 or 4,000 people that make videos that want deals. If everybody want deals, if everybody want discount from GPA, how will any books ever go up? Think about it. Think about that. How would anything ever go up if everybody want below GPA in everything they buy? Or does that make any sense? Whenever I hear anyone complain about GPA, my first thought is, you may complain when you want to buy something, but when you sell something, you want higher than GPA. Let's get real. Okay, let's get real about, oh, I hate GPA because I don't want to pay GPA. Well, guess what? When you sell, do you want to have people lowballing you below GPA all day long? Or when you put your book up in auction and on eBay or Comic Link, do you want to see people bid below GPA all day long? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Okay? It's just, when I hear that, I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. This hobby would be dead. The word investment, the word speculation would be dead. Dead. If people use GPA as the ceiling. Okay? That's the problem with this hobby, is the select few people on YouTube think that it is the ceiling. If it's a ceiling, might as well give up. I wouldn't be telling people to buy anything as an investment in this hobby if GPA is the ceiling. nonsense, right? Melody asks, is the Marvel movie fad gonna stop soon? Um, I don't know, Melody. I think it's hard to push higher, but it has many things in this hobby has surprised me as far as how the movie has impact certain books. Not all books, okay? We all know villain books tend to fizzle out fairly quickly, but that does not mean that all hero books are hot as well, okay? A lot of hero books are just eh. Just look at Hawkeye. Hawkeye has been in a whole lot of movies, and his first appearance is not blowing up and keep blowing up. Okay, it's just not. Same thing. I mean, they worth more money. Okay, the first appearance of Hawkeye, you know, is worth more money than it was 10 years ago when he was a nobody. But it is also not something that is blowing up and it's gonna double or triple. You know, same thing with say a lot of the Guardian of the Galaxy cast. Does anybody see those book breaking records? Not really. Does it matter if those movies make $1 billion? I think there are still money to be made in this hobby for those that like to play the speculation game in the movie. If you are playing with the characters that are not yet introduced, but when you are introduced, it's hard to go much higher. Okay, it can go higher, but a lot higher. Just look at Deadpool. Two successful movie. Is that book doubling? Has that book doubling or even go up 25% in the last 3 years? The answer is no. So, you know, if you're speculating on characters that have yet to be on the big screen, there are some money to be made, no doubt. But I wouldn't be telling people to like invest more money in Hawkeye because he's gonna be Ronan, whatever they call it. Good luck. Okay, good luck with that because I don't know. I don't know how much more there is to go. I mean, we already seen enough examples of like first appearance of Cable, first appearances of Deadpool, first appearances of Gamora, Drax. There's a lot of characters that may be loved by moviegoer, but they're not running to the store. They're not running to eBay and bid up for a copy of Gamora first appearances. You know, there are plenty of channels on YouTube that disagree with everything I just said. Okay, I'd be the first to admit that. They are the one that touting investment return and pump and hype and all kind of crazy stuff with. That's fine. People can say and hype however they want. Okay, to me, I don't have a problem with people saying crazy stuff. I mean, coming from an investment background where I saw and heard a lot of people on TV, CNBC, Fox Business, that talk up company, hype, tout a stock to buy, and then it just didn't pan out for a lot of people. I saw that happen. And so for my philosophy of the message is that the messengers can say whatever they want. They can lie, they can pick and choose, cherry pick information to make their argument. They can do whatever they want. It's free speech. Okay? It's on the listener to either have the knowledge to decipher the message and say that is complete BS, or they can believe. My only comment to those that believe and spent money in the past 5 years buying hot books, how has that worked out for you? Have you made money? If the answer is yes, then go on and keep doing the same thing. Keep listening, keep buying, whatever it is that worked for you. But for those that listen to these hypes, bought stuff, and lost money, my only question is, why are you still listening to them and act on them? All right? I mean, you have yourself to blame. If you are the type of person that listen to other people hypes and bought into them and keep making the same mistake, there is nobody else to blame but yourself. Okay, that's how I look at it. You just can't. I don't blame the messengers. Okay, people can talk. People can say whatever they wish to say. They can pump, they can dump, but they won't be successful if people stop listening. But at least from what I can tell, there's a lot of people that can't stop themselves from listening and buying up the, you know what. Okay, hello, comic book brother. I'm trying to. Wow, there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat. My apology. Yes, I would consider myself Viet Q. Uh, let's see. Not they are two different. So sales are sales. Scott Farr, yes, hello Scott. Sales are sales across the board. Comics equal GPA, house equal Xylo, and Carl, you have Kelly Blue Book. Yes, there's a lot of, even like buying used car, right? Blue Book is useful, right? It's a reference, but like I said, does Blue Book price capture the look of the car? It doesn't. So the variation of prices along the Blue Book price depend on what the car look like, right? Doesn't matter. Sure, how many miles a car have, that's a good comparison, but then how's the body look? How the interior look? All those little things play in. Same thing with comic books, okay? GPA is a good reference, it's a good starting point, but how's the appearance? How's the vibrant color of the cover look? How about the centering? Okay, there's a whole lot of different things that play into how somebody is willing to pay more or less. You can't use GPA as the hard point. This is the price I am supposed to get. Oh my God, if I hear a dealer say something that's silly, GPA say this, so this is the price I am supposed to get. Get out of here. Suppose nothing. As far as Disney and Fox, for those that pay attention, they closed the deal in March, a little bit earlier than expected. I think 6 months ago, people were saying, "Oh my God, it won't happen until June or something." Well, guess what? It's done. It's a done deal. So I am excited for the future of the franchise like the Fantastic Four. The X-Men, I love the X-Men, but I think if I wouldn't be surprised if Disney put the X-Men franchise in a back burner for say 2 years down the road. Like we won't see anything like Mutant X-Men until like maybe 2021, 2022. Or they want the stink. In my opinion, they want the stink of the Fox stuff to fade away. Okay, so I don't even know what's going on with the Dark Phoenix movie. It looked, you know, I never understand the hypes around the X-Men movies outside of X-Men 2. I thought X-Men 2 was a very well done movie. I enjoyed that. Days of Future Past was okay. I enjoyed that. But outside of Days of Future Past and X-Men 2, X-Men 1 to me, to me it does not have a rewatchability. It's so dated. The CGI, the costume, everything is so dated that I own the DVD, and there's no way that DVD will ever see the day of light ever again. These eyes will never watch that movie ever again. But X-Men 2 I can rewatch. Days of Future Past I can rewatch, but First Class was okay. I'm not like all like, oh my god, First Class. Please, no. Well, I made a video. Gosh, I'm maybe 9 months ago, last summer. I made a video. I'm not sure that many people saw it. There was a live chat where I said that if I was Disney, I would shelf and put the Dark Phoenix movie into the live stream and not release it, because releasing the Dark Phoenix movie, I don't care if the movie costs 150 million. That's chump change. On the grand scheme of things, it's chump change for Disney. Okay, it can be. I wouldn't care. I would rather dump it in the streaming channel. The sooner I do that, the sooner I can reboot the franchise. So for me, money wise, investment wise, it is the better investment decision to dump that 150 million or whatever it is, just like the New Mutants. Just dump it on the streaming channel, write it off. If those two movies cost $250 million of waste, dump it. Because guess what? If you launch an X-Men, your own X-Men movie reboot in 2 years, you will make back that $250 million right away. Okay, so it's a small loss now, but in 2 years you can recoup that loss. So I would rather dump it now instead of like releasing it and then have to wait 3 years for the stank to go away. Just dump the damn thing. Write it off. It's nothing. Okay, on the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. It's nothing. They pay crazy money. I don't remember the exact number, but it's like 80 billion or something for Fox. 250 million write off. I mean, it's not as if it's a complete waste. Okay, you gotta understand the streaming channel require content. Okay, producing all those Star Wars shows ain't cheap. So it's not as if like if they're gonna dump those two movies on the streaming channel, it's a complete waste of money or loss. It's content that they would have to create to put on the streaming channel. So it's not a complete loss of $250 million. So just do it. But as far as the Fantastic Four, I think the reason, hear me out before you go crazy. I believe the MCU is going with the Eternals, or pushing the Eternals hard because they want to push the cosmic universe even bigger, right? Beyond just Guardian of the Galaxy. Okay, that's what I'm seeing, and because they're doing that, it would not be shocking for me to see how they introduce the Fantastic Four as a new thing from, like, astronaut that was living in one of those space stations, somehow cosmically infused and become the Fantastic Four. Who knows? But that's how I think the Fantastic Four is going to be introduced. Any theories that the Fantastic Four is going to be the one that buy the Avengers Tower, I don't see it. I don't see it, okay? I do not see that. I see them recon the Fantastic Four as young astronauts in space. That's not super rich of any sort, okay? To have to be able to afford the Avengers building. There's all there have been for years the discussion of, oh, that's no, that's not gonna happen. Not in my opinion. Okay, so I could be completely off, but I think that's how the Fantastic Four is going to be introduced. I think if there's going to be any kind of hint of the Fantastic Four, it's going to be in the Eternals movie, because I think that cosmic thing is going to hit. At the same time, since this is investment chat, here's my tip for all of the people that are interested in the speculation game. If Marvel are hell bent on expanding the cosmic universe, okay, it's a no-brainer. The Silver Surfer is gonna be huge. The market has already done that, but the one area of the market I think people ignore, for the most part so far, is the X-Men cosmic universe. Okay, who to say that the Starjammers cannot be the next big thing like Guardian of the Galaxy? Okay, so if you are a speculators, I would say go out there and hawk up X-Men 107 or whatever hot books of the X-Men run that have the Shire Empire, Starjammers, Gladiator. There's a whole lot of great characters from the X-Men cosmic universe that can be used. Okay, I mean, can I foresee someday a Starjammers meeting up with the Guardian of the Galaxy? Heck yeah, I can. I can absolutely. So I think I agree with Marvel. At first when I heard Eternals, they are going after an eternal. Why in heck would they do that? But the more I think about that, the more I'm just like, it's a lot easier and better to expand the cosmic universe than to introduce heroes at home. Okay. On top of that, guess what? Is it too hard to believe that after the Thanos storyline is over, Galactus will be the next big bad thing that might span the next 11, 12, 13 movies? Okay, introduce him a little bit here and there, introduce a little heck, they should do a Silver Surfer movie by himself, the origin of the Silver Surfer. Okay, as far as how he's make the sacrifice to save his people to become the Silver Surfer. That would be an incredible movie by itself. But there are just so much potential. The big storyline for the next 10 years could be cosmic, could be, well, Thanos is cosmic based as well, so they going there. Okay, there's no denying that that's the path that the MCU is going. Now, as far as the X-Men, I don't know. I don't know how they plan to introduce the mutants. I don't know. Do I care? Not really. However they do it, I'm sure they will figure it out. Okay, I don't really care how they introduce the Fantastic Four either, to be honest. But as I mentioned, my prediction is that they're gonna introduce the Fantastic Four in space, and it's gonna have to do something with the Eternals. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong, but I just don't see them introduced as existing heroes in their 30s or 40s with gray hair, all that stuff. No, I don't see Reed Richard being somebody in his 40s. I see Reed Richard is somebody in his late 20s, early 30s, an astronaut. And as far as Doom, no need to see him yet. No need to see him yet. I am super excited to see Endgame. I heard so many good things about Shazam as well, so I am excited about that. Now, Endgame, Avengers came out the week after my son's birthday. A few days, not even a week, a few days after my son's 12th birthday. So he is excited. I mean, it's rare that Anthony said that he's excited to see any movie, but he is super excited to see Avengers Endgame. He's looking forward to that. He already marked down that's gonna be his birthday movie to go see, and we will definitely get tickets to see the movie. Whether it's gonna be Thursday night, I don't know. Okay, I I told Anthony I will have to wait until that week to see if he has any tests Friday, because with his school there tend to be a lot of tests on Friday, and I don't want to keep him up to midnight on Thursday night watching Avengers if he needs to go to sleep on time and be prepared for a test or two. Sometimes there's two tests on Friday, so I just had to wait until that week to make sure that it's nothing big and bad for Friday. If there's nothing big going on, I will see if the wife and me and Anthony can go see the movie Thursday night at like 9 o'clock. Like the earliest show will be like 9, will be done by midnight kind of thing. We'll see. We'll see if we can do that. Yes, hello Todd Hobbeck. Um, Christopher Joy is here as well. Hello. Um, well, I'm not sure I'm father of the year. The only person that would matter is what Anthony think of me. I enjoy my son. He's gonna be 12. He's a little man now. I miss the days that he was a baby for sure. But he is growing up, and he's entering that teenage time frame where it's gonna be a pain the next 4 or 5 years. We'll see. We'll see how well we all get along in the next 4 or 5 years, because you know he's entering puberty soon. Oh, you bet we're gonna go to that pizza place. Our favorite pizza place. Well, one of our favorite pizza place is right next door to the movie theater, and it's almost a guarantee that we grab a slice of pizza there before we go in the movie. But we'll see. Depend on the time of the movie. Good as Gold said, I enjoy movies on Earth. The cosmic stuff is a bit too much. Um, I can't say if I enjoy the cosmic stuff or the Earth stuff that much. Well, any different than the other one. I have mentioned many times that I'm not in the camp that Guardian of the Galaxy movies are awesome. They are okay. The Thor movies that was in Thor Ragnarok was mostly cosmic. It's okay. It's not. To me, Marvel movies are fun for the most part. I enjoy, yes, but I don't really care about whether it's on Earth or cosmic. I care more about the story or the acting. I mean, so far, uh, so far, my one complaint in most of Marvel movie has been the humors. Okay, that has been the biggest turnoff, because sense of humor is different. Is different for most people. Not everybody think the same thing is funny. Okay, whenever I complain about sense of humor or something is not funny or things I didn't like, some people's like, oh, how can you say that? It was hilarious. I'm like, not everybody has the same sense of humor. You can't expect people to find the same thing funny. That's not how it works. Okay, very simple example. Jerry Lewis. How many people thought Jerry Lewis was hilarious? Maybe in France, maybe in Europe, but growing up, I didn't think he was funny at all. You know, I mean, it's sense of humor is very different. to a lot of people. So whenever whenever people get upset with me because I say I didn't like the sense of humor in Marvel movies, I'm like, why are you upset with me? Not everybody had the same sense of humor. It's common sense. I like the Three Stooges. I mean, my sense of humor is very different. Like I can sit here and watch, you know, the classic, Taxi, Three's Company. Uh, there's a lot of classic comedy that I love, but then there's also a lot of classic comedy that I don't really care for, like Bob Newhart, right? A lot of people love Bob Newhart, and that's just not my kind of comedy. It didn't work. It didn't work with me. I mean, I try to sit down and watch it, just like MASH. MASH is a classic comedy that beloved by many people, and guess what? Not me, not me. Okay, it has nothing to do that I don't like war. I don't like Korean War. Nothing to do with any of that. I just find that when I sit down and watch MASH, I just don't laugh ever. So you know Happy Days, Mork and Mindy. That's a lot of the classic stuff I love. Okay, the Fonz. Who does? I love the Fonz, but at the end of the day, I try not to get too upset with people' taste in movies because at the end of the day, we all have different tastes, and anyone else's opinion does not invalidate what you think about that movie. Okay, that's the other crazy thing that people go nuts about. It's like whenever they hear someone else's opinion that differ from their opinion in movies, they get all riled up. That's what the internet is all about. People get all worked up on other people different opinions. Nonsense. About as much nonsense as people that think GPA is it. The price on GPA said this, so this is what I'm supposed to get. Nonsense. I prefer Curly, Todd. When it comes down to the Three Stooges, I prefer Curly. Um, one of my favorite classic comedy was All in the Family. Yes, love that show. Barely laugh every time I watch it. Hilarious, satire, fantastic. The writing is just top notch for me with that show. Top notch, top notch. Can't say enough about how much I love All in the Family. Oh my god, it's a show that some people would find it so offensive, right? They sit down there, they watch it with me, and they be like, "Oh my god, how can you like this? He is so obnoxious. He is such a racist." If that's how you react to that show, then you're missing the point. Meathead is just great. Oh my god. Oh, the dynamic of that show, it's just so fantastic. Oh, Edith, Meathead. Oh, it's it's a small cast and it is so fun, and the occasional appearances of other characters of that show. Oh, love it. I miss that show. If there's a show that I would rewatch a lot, is Taxi and All in the Family. My two favorite sitcom of all time. Yes, all time, right there. Well, anyhow, I'm not gonna keep this chat for very long. So unless other people have any questions, I will end it at 9 o'clock. I was gonna start at 8, but took me a while to figure out this new YouTube chat setup thing. It was ridiculous. I mean, I've been gone for 2 months, and it's all kind of crazy little knickknacks that I didn't know how to get to work properly. That's why the chat did not take place at 8 o'clock as I planned. But I definitely want to end it at 9 because I'm getting hungry. Time for me to make some breakfast for me and my son. He's still sleeping. If you have any questions or topic of investment, feel free to leave it in the comment, and I will try to address it in future chats. I'm not sure if I will have a chat every week. Definitely not something I want to do weekly. But I will, if I do another chat, say in 2 weeks, every other week, or once a month, I will try to answer any specific questions. Unless the question is, should I invest in Amazing Fantasy 15? Let's hope there are not that many of those kind of questions, because those kind of questions are very hard to answer. Because, like, should you invest in Amazing Fantasy 15? The answer is, I don't know. Okay? I mean, it's hard to give advice when I don't really know how much money people have. If buying an Amazing Fantasy 15 mean that everything you have to have, like, you basically liquidate everything that you own as far as savings to buy one book. I'm not a big fan of having all of your egg in one basket. Not a fan of that, regardless if it is the stock market or comic books. I'm not a fan of telling anyone or advising anyone to invest in one book. No. So hopefully I don't get those kind of questions, because you know we all want, well, not we all, I try to not be so broad and general. Many of us would like to own Amazing Fantasy 15. There's a lot of people that may have 10,000 books, and they would rather have 10,000 books than one Amazing Fantasy 15. Yes, there are those collectors. So for those, that's what it's all about. It's about, having quantities, having complete runs, having as many books as they can have pile up in their room. That's what make them happy. So it's not the same as those that say, I just want a few big keys. That's all I need. So it's hard for me to give an answer that would fit all. Well, anyhow, thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will see if I can convert this into a podcast and load it later. So for those that want to listen only and not kill their bandwidth to look at this face, then you can listen to the podcast later. But I will see if I can remember to do that, because it's been a while since I did a podcast and recording it and all that stuff to do a podcast release. But I will try to do that. Eggs and bacons and toast coming up. Time for me to make some more noise to wake up Anthony, because Daddy is hungry, and Daddy is not going to sit around and wait until 10 o'clock. Daddy needs some food. Anyhow, thanks everybody for tuning in to the Sunday Comic Investment Chat. Until next time, bye-bye.